So I decided it was important to go to Arizona, come here to Arizona, because I found out that the situation in Arizona is really bad. That there are thousands of homeless and stray and abandoned and abused and neglected dogs in this state as well. And all for different reasons and in different regions of the entire state. And I wanted to find out why and who's helping.
Our first visit was the Willcox Animal Shelter in Willcox, Arizona. It is located approximately 90 miles east of Tucson.
Oh, how long has he been here?
Just a week.
Oh, okay. Do you get enough foot traffic here to get them adopted? I mean, as we're driving down, we're like, who knows about the shelter?
And that was primarily my reason for wanting to come out here, because really without the additional exposure, there's not many people who even knew where Willcox was. So that was kind of my goal, is to put Willcox on the map and give these dogs a chance, and giving them the opportunity through photograph and Facebook and networking.
Right. What happens if the shelter's full?
Well, we try not to get that way.
Okay.
For one, that's when I start really networking the dogs. And they usually let me know when a dog is getting urgent, and that's when I'll take the ones that have been in here the longest and I'll post them as urgent. And there's a lot of really, really great rescues that step in and pull them. So we haven't had any, real major issues. We do get full. We're full now.
Our goal is to connect everybody so that the dogs don't even have to stay within the state. If there's a perfect family for them somewhere else, let them go there,
I remember when I first started photographing here, I was also, at the time, working with Graham County Shelter, and I had taken a picture of this dog, and it was seen, all the way up in Alaska. And this lady actually flew all the way from Alaska to pick up this dog in Safford.
Really?
And brought it home, yeah.
I believe it.
It was amazing.
Wow. She just came in from the dog shelter, and she's got this large open window.
Oh, it's okay. She's scared. We want to know how we can help more and how you can help more. That's my goal, because we need more help, because these dogs are not getting, there's not enough help for all the dogs out there.
I'm Dr. Debbie Chapman. I'm a veterinarian here at Desert Cross Veterinary Hospital in Thatcher, Arizona. It's difficult because veterinary medicine is a business like anything else, and you want to help as much as you can, but it's still a business. And there's so many shelter animals, and there's so many of them that need help that it's difficult. Yeah. I mean, you just can't help them all.
What do you think leads to this overpopulation of dogs?
The backyard breeder. It's the person who buys them and spends all the money on this puppy that they bought at a pet store or from a puppy mill, and they see dollar signs. And so they go out and they find some dog that maybe is a purebred or maybe isn't a purebred, or maybe their female gets out and gets bred by who knows what and comes out with these ugly little mutt puppies. Well, then they're in the Walmart parking lot, holding them up, trying to sell them in the back of a truck and then giving them away to whoever walks by. The problem with that is the people who take those puppies take them because they feel bad for the puppy. They don't do it because they want them. And they take it home and they throw it in their backyard, and it gets sick because they don't want it, so they don't get its vaccines. It gets sick, and so then they call us when it has parvo, or they'll let it out of the yard, they won't go find it, or they'll take it to the pound, and it happens.
It's a cycle.
And I see puppies like this in there all the time. And you're gonna push these puppies off on somebody who doesn't want them. They're not vaccinated, and they're gonna come in, they're gonna have parvo, and they're gonna die because you've pushed them off on somebody who doesn't really want one of them.
Today's day and age, with the overpopulation of dogs, with the many strays, with the shelters full, and do they know all this and they just don't care? It doesn't apply to them?
They don't want to know. It's ignorant. I mean, and to a certain extent, if you're not actively involved, you don't really know. I didn't know. I mean, I was busy, and you know there's a pet overpopulation, and you see the people come in and you hear the stories and I rescued this dog and but you don't realize the extent of it until you have somebody who's actively involved in the shelters.
What do your dogs mean to you?
They're everything to me. That's why I have 8 of them, which is too many dogs. Angel, she's the Doberman. A client brought her in. She was literally a walking skeleton. And she had found her out in the desert and had coaxed her into her car with cat food. She honestly came here as the skinniest dog I'd ever seen in my life. Charlie was a patient, and he was not a nice dog. And he came in with a custom Hannibal Lecter muzzle on him. And he was very, very difficult patient, and he got bit by a Mojave rattlesnake. And his dad lives 2 hours away, and he drove here, and by the time he got here, he was like comatose in the back of his vehicle. Charlie's like the clinic superstar. Everybody comes to see Charlie, and where's the big dog, and can we take our picture?
So most of the people that came today are people who brought their pets to you, like their own, you know.
Yes, so this week is, we are setting up in one location each day, and people are coming to us. We have other types of clinics where we've done mobile clinics where we've moved throughout the community on one given day to each neighborhood, and then we've also, sometimes I'm not here, I'm able to do house calls because a lot of people don't have transportation. So we run all sorts of different clinics, and we also do some spay and neuter. So we just wrapped up a spay neuter weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and then I have the vet school coming out actually this weekend to do some more.
Thousands of him like that out here.
Oh my God.
They're everywhere.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Dagote, my name is Julie Cassador. I'm from the San Carlos Apache Reservation, and today we are at my building where I work. This is the Triplets Community Center, and this is where I do a lot of my rescuing within my own community. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm just overwhelmed that you know, you made an effort to come and see us here on the reservation.
I'm so happy to be here. Tell me about what you do to help rescue and save animal lives on the reservation.
Well, I just do what comes naturally, and with my culture, it's something that we hold sacred to us. We do have a lot of people who get evicted from the subdivisions here.
Okay.
And they feel like they have no options of what to do with their dogs or cats, so they just leave them behind. And right now, we don't have anything within our department to help the families with their pets.
Right.
They are just given information to call animal control here on the reservation, which is not a pet rescue. There's always someone I can call that will help. And the Humane Society's been awesome. And the dogs that have been abandoned that are now have adjusted to being out here, and they sleep in the washes. So I usually walk the washes. I'll do it maybe twice a week, where I'll see if any of them had puppies, or some of them need medical attention, but a lot of them have just adapted, so I just go and feed them. I've been doing this actively rescuing pets for about 10 years now. This is what I'm doing. I want to take it to a whole new level, and because I want to help in a bigger way, like you said.
And social media has been known to be a really great tool for everybody. Everyone I've spoken to has said that social media has helped them grow their awareness, their funding, their support. So that's definitely a wonderful way to share the need to pay attention to the dogs on the reservation.
Yes.
I think you're on to great things. I think it'll grow. I really
Thank you.
believe that.
Thank you for coming here today.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
and just coming to see our beautiful reservation.
From the remote areas of Willcox and the reservation, we head to the city of Phoenix, where laws get made, passed, and animal welfare advocacy for the state is happening on many levels.
I'm Kelly Pinkleton. I'm the Arizona State Director of the Humane Society of the United States, the largest animal welfare organization. We are an advocacy organization. So for example, the states that have passed felony cruelty laws, we have been behind working on those. Here at the state capitol today, we work here on passing legislation that protects animals. We also occasionally are fighting back or opposing legislation that would harm animals, such as dogs. But we really do a lot of advocacy, and whether that's the state, the federal level, or the local, we are trying to not just address abuses and issues that exist, societal and otherwise. We are trying to prevent them and also impact our laws and our local ordinances. One of our kind of premier events, and most states in the country have these, HSUS puts on Humane Lobby Day. And February 1st is the date for the Arizona Humane Lobby Day. That'll be here at the Capitol. And we have about 125 animal advocates, animal lovers from around Arizona. They all kind of come here, converge at the state capitol, and what we do is make it as simple and easy as possible for them to interact with either their state senator or 2 representatives.
So in terms of the Humane Society, how we see the commercials and, advocating for helping animals and donating to help the animals. When people donate, how does that help? How does their donation help?
Sure, so with our animal rescue team, and we've had, they're often dispatched to sometimes abuse cases.
Yeah.
Where there has been dog fighting, or where, we have teams that are often going to puppy mills. And with all these, I should say that when our rescue team is dispatched, we are working in coordination with law enforcement. We are not an enforcement agency. So often we are asked to come in by law enforcement, or natural disaster. Hurricane Matthew, we were there working with local shelters to pull out animals, get them to a safe spot, help them get adopted out. And that very much depends on we have partnerships with the shelters because they're key. They are on the ground, they are local, and so here in Arizona, the Arizona Humane Society is an emergency placement partner. Any of these situations, there are so many angles and so many partnerships that are needed. So talking about animal issues, to electeds, to law enforcement, to friends, to family, to your churches. We met with the church yesterday and talked about, issues of compassion with animals, and kind of some of the faith-based communities are really getting involved in, whatever their particular religion is or faith community. It supports much of what we're saying.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. That makes a big difference too.
It does. Well, and they carry great influence with their communities, whatever the faith is. So.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. It's really enlightening and informative.
I can't wait to see the documentary. And thank you, for what you all are doing.
It's
because
so great.
This will reach an audience that, we may not reach, or collectively we all may not reach. So this is, the more of this we have, the more conversation, the more ways to reach out to people, the better.
Hi, I'm Melissa Gable, the Communication Supervisor with Maricopa County Animal Care and Control, and we are located in Phoenix, Arizona.
Tell us about the Maricopa County Animal Shelter.
Well, first and foremost, we are Maricopa County, which is, within the Phoenix metro area. We are the only open admission shelter in the county. So we take in a lot of animals. The animals that may not be able to go into other shelters usually come to us. In 2016, we took in about 35,000 homeless, stray, unwanted dogs and cats.
It blows my mind.
It's 100 animals every day, approximately.
With that large of an intake number, there has to be other ways than you guys, depending on just people who walk in to adopt animals. What are some of the programs that you do to advocate for that?
Right now we have so many dogs that we're doing $20 adoptions for all of our adult dogs. Keeping in mind that dogs stay with us. We have dogs at our shelters that have been with us 30 days or longer. That $20 doesn't even cover practically a day's stay. So we're losing money on that, but our plan is to reduce the fees to try and entice the public to come in and adopt. But we also have a really good program that's just started in the last few years. It's a day fostering program, and through that program, we invite volunteers to come into the shelter and check an animal out. You can check them out for a morning, an afternoon, an entire day. Some folks will call us and say, I've had, Fluffy out for day foster, and I just hate to bring her back. Can she spend the night? and we'll let them, you know, have a sleepover. The volunteers take them out and they provide us with a wealth of information as well as photos. The foster volunteers will send them to us, the photos, the bios, and we put it on Facebook. And that helps people. I think a lot of times it's easier for us if we can see a dog on a couch, then that can help me visualize what he will look like on my couch.
This is Summary, and she is adoptable at the Maricopa County Shelter in Phoenix, Arizona. She came in as a stray, right?
She did. She's about 9 years old, and she is such a sweetheart. Are you giving kisses?
She gives kisses.
Can you give kisses?
Can you give kisses?
Come on,
Oh, she likes the camera.
Aww.
So what do you think the current canine condition, the state of it, as you've seen it, says about the human condition?
You know, I think overall, most of the dogs that come to us are well cared for. You know, a lot of them are probably used to being in a backyard. You know, they may not have a lot of socialization skills. And so, I mean, does that mean that as a community, are we lacking in compassion? And, you know, I don't think so, because part of me thinks, well, but the dogs are coming to us, whether they say they're stray or they're not, but they're kind enough to at least bring the dogs to a shelter or to bring them to a rescue or reach out. And I think for us, our responsibility is to provide those resources to them and to be there for them. And I always tell folks, hey, you don't have to adopt from us. You know, adopt from a rescue, because the reality is the more animals that get adopted out, those rescues are going to come to us and take more.
It's just takes will, you know. People have to be willing to go out of their way, and people have to get out of their freaking bubble and do something, because people complain a lot. The I see on Facebook, tons of people just naysayers and writing derogatory comments if they see a neglected, abused, or abandoned dog, or if they see dogs in shelters. It's like there's a reason those dogs are in those conditions, so it's not going to do any good to badmouth people or to get angry on a post. Get in your car and do something. Get on the computer, get on the phone, do something, anything. There's so many things you can do.
When I don't know where to go, and I don't know where to turn to, I know at least that I got you. And when I'm feeling sad and lonely, and I need someone to hold me, I know at least that I got you. Doesn't turn out like I planned, then I need someone who understands what I'm going through. It takes a lot to keep up our defenses,